What's up, guys? This video today is not really RNG related, but I feel like it's something that can benefit a lot of people, so I want to talk about it. It's something that is kind of already known in like the self-help side of YouTube, and what it is visualization. Okay, visualization. I'm sure a lot of you who have heard about visualization hear this and suddenly almost automatically probably think about those guys who will be like, manifest, you can manifest anything you want in your life, or dream it, believe it, achieve it, something like that. And this isn't how my story went exactly. Like, I didn't even know I was doing this back in 2016 when I was actually doing this. I was doing this without knowing what I was doing back then. And it isn't until today where I realized what I was actually doing back then is insanely powerful if you implement it correctly. Okay, so let me take you guys back to 2015. In 2015, I started my YouTube channel. And I started this channel because of what you see on the screen. Because of that style, it's called Running Gun. I started my channel because of this. It was like my most favorite thing to do in GTA, just running gun, just kill people. I'd say it's still my favorite thing to do after all these years. Like, I would rather do this than anything else. But the reason I did this back then was because I saw a lot of people who played just like me. They had YouTube channels and they were uploading montages. They were uploading gameplay, right, of Running Gun. Now, back then, crews for Running Gun were big at the time. Like, there was a lot of great Running Gun crews. But there was one crew in particular that really stood out from the rest. And as you already know, if you're like a viewer of mine, you know what crew I'm talking about. Running Gun Killers. Running Gun Killers was the biggest crew at the time. If you were a running gun player, you wish you were in this crew. Everybody in this crew was like the top of the top, bro. They were the top dogs of the game. And me, I was like a shrimp in a sea of sharks. These guys were sharks and I was a shrimp. I was like a random. This is like a popular term we use, right? Random. I was a random, bro. In 2015, like, nobody knew me. It's like just like a handful of people knew me back then, and I just dreamed of being a part of this crew. It's like kind of silly, right? But like, bro, I was invested in the game. I was invested in like the running gun competitive side, and I only wished and dreamed I could be a part of RNGK, but I never thought I could. Like, I was a random. Who am I? All these guys are like the best. Everyone idolizes them. I'm nobody. I just played death matches for fun. So as time went on, I kept playing more and more. I tried to get my skills up because, you know, to be in that crew, you need to be one of the best. I tried to get my skills up, but the way you prove yourself to join a crew like this is to win crew battles. And I was always shy back then to do crew battles. I felt like I wouldn't stand like my ground, or like I wouldn't hold my own. I would let the team down. I was very negative about myself. So all I really did was focus on death matches. And eventually, like a year later, from 2015 through 2016, I did eventually get really good at the game. But I still didn't believe I was RNGK level good. I still didn't believe that. Keep in mind, Running Gun back then was it was huge, bro. Way more bigger than it is now. That's why a lot of people, like the OGs and stuff, they all say RNG is dead now. Because it was way bigger back then. It was way more competitive back then. All the crews were around, like the OG crews were around. During that time, like in 2015, I was making my way up. I was joining these running gun crews. I was gaining access to like bigger crews, like more known crews. And I did eventually get kind of known in like this little niche community. Now RNGK has a rival crew. It's called OTGX. Only the Greatest. This is Renegade Killers' rival crew. It's called Only the Greatest. And I also did kind of wish I was in that crew too. And I felt like maybe joining OTG might be easier for me. So the leader of OTG was actually hosting tryouts. And I joined one of his tryouts. I was like, I felt like I was good enough for this. I could do this tryout. Bro, I got slammed in that tryout. I got slammed so hard, I actually rage quit. Because I was like ashamed of how bad I was doing. Like I just kept getting killed over and over. And I just left that, man. And of course, like my confidence and ego just dropped after that tryout. And low key, I kind of quit the game for a little bit after that tryout. I quit a little bit because I felt like I just wasn't good enough. Eventually, I did come back. Obviously, like I'm here now, right? Eventually, I did come back. I came back like, okay, so after I got slammed, I did end up picking myself back up. And I said, you know what? I need to get better. I just need to get better. So I came back to the game. I started playing more. My skills got better. I started playing against better players. And eventually it just clicked in my head like, bro, I want to be RNGK. So what I did back then, I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing. But what I started doing is like low-key a little cringy because it's a fucking video game crew. What I started doing, bro, I cut out the RNGK crew tag from an actual RNGK player, and I pasted it next to my name in Photoshop. So it looked like this. It looked like Fonshway, and then the crew tag was next to me, RNGK. I started obsessing over this crew, bro. I did that. I Photoshopped the crew tag next to my name. I also had a vision board on my, I could even show you guys this vision board I have. I put RNGK, the logo, right there because this is what I wanted in my life. I wanted to be a part of this crew that thousands of people wanted to be a part of. I wanted to be in it badly. I put it in my vision board. And then what else I would do? I would lay in my bed. I would close my eyes and start imagining myself with the Renegade Killers crew tag on the back of my character's shirt. I would start visualizing that in my head. I would visualize. I remember before I even joined RNGK, bro, I went into Sony Vegas and I put Gold Revolver's intro. Gold Revolver is the leader of Renegade Killers, and he has this intro cinematic that he uses for every montage. Bro, I put that intro in Sony Vegas before I was even in RNGK. I put it in Sony Vegas and I put my clips in that thing. I put my clips that I got in Sony Vegas. And I put my song that I just imagined would go on his channel one day. Before I was ever in his channel. Imagine how obsessive that sounds. That must sound pretty damn obsessive, right? I was obsessed, man. Okay, I was doing all that, but I still was improving myself. I still wasn't doing crew battles. But what I was doing, like I said earlier, I was climbing the ranks, right? I was getting into bigger crews. I was playing a lot of face-to-face in these days. And I was in this crew called Abstract. And inside that crew was an RNGK member. And I would play face-to-face every time with him. Sometimes I would do really good. I would get MVP. And sometimes I would not do too bad. But I never really went negative against him. So we did that. And then what happens next is just... It's as if the stars aligned and shit, bro. What happens next? Maybe a few months later, they were doing like something. I don't even know if this was a tryout, but I remember I joined a playlist with Running and Killers members. And in the other team were 3 Running and Killers members. It was Clutch Kid, Duarte, and Paportos. And on my team, it was me and like, I don't even know who the hell it was in my team. That doesn't matter. What happens next, bro? I got MVP 2 out of the 3 matches that we did. 2 out of the 3 matches against Running and Killers members. And I didn't think about it much. Like, okay, like I got MVP. I didn't think I would like join RNGK the next day, bro. The next day, I was on Facebook. Guess who DMs me? Gold Revolvers DM'd me. I remember the date, bro. It was May 16. May 16 in 2016. Gold Revolvers messages me. Bro, I want you in RNGK. I woke up that day, bro. When I saw that message, Jesus Christ, man. I was so damn happy. Like, it's honestly one of my happiest memories from this game. When he messaged me, telling me he wants me to be a part of his crew. This crew that every single Running Gun member, this crew that every single Running Gun player wanted to join. He chose me. He wanted me. I never proved myself in CVCs. In fact, I did a CVC one time with an RNGK member and I went negative. None of that mattered. I think what mattered the most was when I MVP'd in that playlist. Because literally the next day, Gold Revolvers messages me telling me he wants me in the crew. How did I achieve that? I achieved that by obsessing over it. I photoshopped the crew tag next to my name. I put his intro in Sony Vegas before I was even in the crew. I would close my eyes and imagine the crew tag on my character. And back then when I was doing all this, I thought I was just being weird. But when I realized what I did now, today, 7 years later, what I did back then was actually visualization and manifestation. I visualized it. I put it everywhere where I see it. I see it everywhere. And I thought about it so much. I was obsessed with this crew and I actually ended up joining it. Now, why is this skill important? Because back then I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I'm aware of what I did back then, anyone can do this. If you obsess and visualize yourself doing something you want to do, you will get it. That shit, it works for me. I was a random, bro. I was not famous. I was just a random player. A random running gun player who just happened to join the best crew in the game. And when I joined, I wasn't even a top player. I was a montage player, bro. That's what they would call us, montage players. I was a clips player. I wasn't what I thought was needed to join the crew. I was not the best of the best, bro. I was a random and I still joined the best crew in the game just because I obsessed and manifested and visualized it. And the way I'm using visualization now is how I started going to the gym. I started imagining myself waking up, putting on the gym clothes and walking to the gym and doing the exercises. I did that one night. Bro, I haven't been to the gym in over 6 or 7 years. And I finally had enough. One night, I just decided to, before I go to sleep, imagine myself waking up the next day and going to the gym. And literally the next day, I just do it. After 8 years of not doing it, I just go and do it. And right now, I'm building the habit. And I'm also like visualizing myself with the body I want and stuff, bro. Visualization is some powerful stuff. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. See yourself in your head what you want to do. See yourself in your head what you want to be. Feel it and you will get it. And yeah, that's about it, guys. That is the powerful lesson I learned from playing this game. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed or learned something from this video. If you guys want more like self-help type of videos or videos where I talk about something that could benefit you or help you in your life, let me know by dropping a like on this video. And subscribe for it as well. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.